Hillary Clinton just made a rare post-election public appearance. She spoke with Christiane Amanpour at a Woman for Woman international event and opened up about why she says she's not the president right now. Take a look.
I was on the way to winning until the combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th and Russian WikiLeaks raised doubts in the minds of people who were inclined to vote for me but got scared off. If the election meant on October 27th, I'd be your president. Did we make mistakes? Of course we did. Did I make mistakes? Oh my gosh, yes. I did win more than 3 million votes than my opponent. I'm now back to being an activist citizen and part of the resistance.
So does that cover some reasons as to why? Was she overlooking stuff, or?
This was the most unimpressed I've been with Hillary Clinton. Every time I see her do an interview, I'm waiting for a moment where she just doesn't blame anyone but herself and acknowledges why they lost. Why? The reason why she lost was that her foreign policy at the State Department was a disaster. Her intervention in Libya led to terrorist havens and the infiltration of ISIS. She lost because she picked a bad vice presidential candidate. She didn't do proper groundwork in states like Wisconsin, in states like Michigan, in states like Pennsylvania. She lied to people. She made the decision.
Don't bring up the lie, please. Don't bring up lying.
About having the server?
Don't bring up lying about people.
Okay, well, she did.
Yeah, let's not put lies in, because if we're going to compare.
But no, I'm not here to. No, I'm not here to compare one.
I can hear you on other stuff, but the lying I just can't handle. Go ahead, babe. Did you?
Well, I was just gonna, no. I was going to let you finish if you had. But I tend to agree. I was a little shocked when I saw her say that at first, because I think there was a moment after the election when so many of us stopped after looking at those polls and the buildup, and we were like, what did we miss? In some ways, I think she might still be missing some of it. I think if she had said these both were a part of the problem, but that they missed.
She did.
She did. But after Christiane actually egged her, she said, do you take any responsibility for this?
Yeah.
And I found that the fact that out of the gates her answer was the Russian thing and Comey, because I think there were messaging problems. She wasn't on the ground. A lot of the people that spoke up.
She won 3 million more votes than Donald Trump did. So her message was out there. People wanted to vote for her. And the bottom line is, the FBI was investigating Trump's Russia ties since July, and they only mentioned that this March. Yet they mentioned it in October.
Sonny, I voted for her. I'm a Hillary Clinton supporter.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I was disappointed by the interview, because to me at this moment what she needed to say was, we missed the mark in a lot of ways. There were things we didn't hear, and it shows me in this interview she might still be missing.
I don't know that she missed the mark.
But I don't know that she missed the mark. She also lost the election because the election isn't run by the popular vote. It's run by the Electoral College, and she's a seasoned politician. And she should know that those states that she skipped out on, those states that she didn't go to, that cost her the election. Really? She sounds like she did it, because that's what cost her the election. There were people in the center of the country that felt ignored.
Was FBI Director Comey. What cost her the election, in my humble opinion, is Russia's hacking. And what cost her the election is, if you look at the stats, people, I agree with Van Jones in a sense, this was a white lash. There have been studies, 20% of people voted because of racism. And I think after 8 years of a black president, there was no way that this woman was going to win.
Twice. The country elected a black president twice because he was a good candidate. She was not a good candidate.
You know, she was not a good candidate. You know what? Here's the truth about her. My opinion, she would have made a great president. She was not a great candidate. I'll agree with you. But she would have been a great president. He was an interesting candidate and a lousy president.
He had a clear message.
You know what? Let's face it. Putin wanted to make America great again. Let's tell the truth.
She was the most qualified candidate for president that we've ever had.
But that's not what the debate is about.
She wasn't a good candidate.
Really, that was not what people were voting. They weren't voting on qualifications, and that's very clear. So Amanpour said the new guy would probably take to Twitter about all of the conversations they were having, which of course he did, tweeting that Comey was the best thing for her because he gave her a free pass for her bad deeds. That the Russia story was an excuse Democrats are using, and that he just ran a great campaign.
You know, can I just say that today I just read CNN is putting out that Comey is now saying, you might have just seen this, that if he hadn't put that information out about Hillary, he felt it would have been catastrophic. On the other hand, he didn't feel it would be catastrophic if he put out the fact that the Russia connection was under investigation, also, which he did not. Now, you can't tell me that that was not a crucial point in why she lost.
I agree. I think
so what's your beef with her?
My beef with her is that there were a lot of reasons that she lost that have nothing to do with anyone else except for Hillary Clinton.
She said that.
Yes. No, she didn't say that. She reluctantly said that.
I screwed up.
She very
said it.
reluctantly
In her first answer, she gave two reasons. She said, the reason I'm not president is because of Comey and because of Russia. And then Christiane Amanpour said, do you take any responsibility? I'm not saying she didn't take responsibility. I think this is multifaceted. And I don't think anyone can speak retroactively about what would have happened, but I think there were layers to this.
But
and
you
by
sound as
simplifying
though you're saying that if Christiane hadn't asked her that question, she wouldn't have admitted it.
No, I'm just saying don't give her credit for coming out of the gate saying, oh, it was me and it was these things. She said this and this, and if the election was on October 27th, I would be your president.
I think she's right.
I think she's right.
We agree.
Speaking of tweets, the Washington Post put tweets in perspective by reprinting
My God.
every single tweet in his first 100 days in the White House.
Oh, wow.
I'm surprised they could fit it onto a page.
And all that, still all that does not make any sense. All of that writing makes no sense.
Well, we're not talking about whether it makes sense or not. We're just saying that he's so busy tweeting. You know, look, here's my take on all of this election stuff. We're never going to know why she lost or why he won because, don't clap, because the waters are so muddy between WikiLeaks and PookieLeaks and this one and this. It's too muddy to know really what now we can go to sound bites where people say, well, I just didn't like her as a candidate or she didn't come and see me. But, you know, I don't know how much of that is true, but I do know that we'll never know now because it's so muddy and so disgusting. We've never seen an election like this. And so I don't think either side can really take a lot of solace because they won or lost. I think both sides should be really sort of questioning what the hell is going on and how did we get here with this much Hazarai about Russia. I mean, can you imagine if this much Hazarai had happened?
What does Hazarai mean?
Mess. A mess
Like a hot mess.
Figure it out.
Like a hot mess.
It's a Hazarai. I mean, it's like everything was, you know, a mess. It was a mess between Russia and WikiLeaks and Comey and Comey saying,
they stole it.
Well, we don't know what happened. We don't know what happened.
I saw
but well, you saw Russia involved, but we will never know, had they not been part of this, what the real outcome would have been. And that's the saddest part for our country. And that we as citizens will never know what really would have happened if we had actually just done the job we were supposed to do, which was vote.
And they're blaming her. They're blaming her for not having a message. She had a message. You know, his message was make America great. No, his message was blame the Mexicans. That was his message.
She didn't take that message.
I'll tell you what my message is.
Gotta go.
We'll be right back.